in my mind, it's in my mind after all. Nothing but time is my fault. I'm floating between the white and black. The abyss within, the abyss without. Put the black in my heart, put the black in my soul. These things are made to be let go. Put the black in my heart, put the black in my soul. Put the black in my heart, put the black in my soul. These things are made to be let go. Put the black in my heart, put the black in my soul. Put the black in my heart, put the black in my soul. These things are made to be let go. Put the black in my heart, put the black in my soul. Put the black in my heart, put the black in my soul. These things are made to be let go. Put the black in my heart, put the black in my soul. We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. 'Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't.
You know what time it is. And here we go. Good evening, and welcome to the Big Show. I'm your host, Big Chungus, and I'm coming to you live from the IGL mothership. We've got a great show for you tonight, folks. It is 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on April 29th, 2020, and today's a Wednesday, which means it's a great day for some KQB action. It is week 4 of the IGL US West Spring Circuit, and tonight we have a matchup featuring Tier 1 teams. Home team is the number 4 ranked GGG, sitting at 2-1, and they are hosting the number 1 seeded Soak Squad, who comes in tonight at 3-0. To help me sort this all out, joining me to my right in studio on the ones and twos is my producer, Mr. Meeseeks. I also have a very special guest with me here once again tonight. You know her as the queen of the KQA scene, as well as a mod for our wonderful Discord community, and not to mention the newest member of Soak Squad. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Daddy. Daddy, welcome aboard.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello. Once again, Daddy, here we are. It is week 4. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I'm excited. Another week, another dollar,
Me
right?
too. That's right. Big bucks over here. We are still keeping things going, quarantine edition style. So I appreciate you being on the other side of the studio, coming in, braving the elements out there. Know it's a big risk for you, but thanks for coming on in.
Yeah. Let's play some KQB, y'all.
That's right. Let's get it done. Before we get started, once again, I just want to give a shout out to the Big Chungus charity of choice this season is United Way's COVID-19 Relief Fund. So far, the community has been absolutely awesome to start the season. My goal was hoping that we would someday reach $1,000, but we have already reached that as of last week. So people's generosity has just been off the charts. We're shattering
Amazing.
records over here. Shattering records and fulfilling dreams is what we do. So
Yeah,
far,
you get a donation. You get a donation. Let's go.
donations all the way around. So yes, thank you so much everyone who's already donated. If you can, please go ahead, scroll down, hit that donate button, click on the PayPal option, and give away. More information is down below if you scroll down there. So thanks so much to everyone so far already. Let's get right
Yeah,
to it,
and
Daddy.
you guys just a little piggyback on that. Y'all not drinking coffee every morning. You're quarantined in your house. I know you got that Nespresso machine on and popping, right? So that $5 that you would use at Starbucks on your way to work, just throw that in the COVID-19 fund. You feel
Boom.
me?
Right there. It's that easy. It's
Cool,
that
cool, cool.
easy. Daddy laying it down for us. Thank you very much. Let's get right to it. We got a lot to talk about here before this match starts up. We're going to have me kill the music here because it's time to get a super cereal. Last week we had lots of good stuff going on. You and I casted the Soak match against the number 8 seed Sailor Moon. That was a lot of fun last week. Soak scooped that up 3-0. The other team we're seeing here tonight, GGG. So they came into the season ranked number 4. They played the number 3 seed B team. We knew that was going to be a close match, and indeed it was. B team ended up taking that one 3-2, and what was an absolutely awesome match. I believe AG was casting that one. I was watching that. That was pretty good stuff, Daddy. I don't know if you were able to catch any of that.
Oh yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah. Big stuff there.
yeah.
Big stuff.
So this is really cool because Soak tonight is playing, of course, GGG, which is the match that we're gonna have broadcasting for everybody here in about 15 minutes. And then next week, Soak plays at home against B Team. So if they're able to win here tonight and B Team wins their game, that'll be a battle of the top 2 undefeated teams. So that could be some pretty exciting stuff right there. Um, in other action last week, we saw Hive in Place, the presumptive number 2 seed, beating up on Silver Smurfers 3-0. And we also saw Terror Bears taking on Lit. I thought that was going to be a much closer one, but that ended up going 3-0 Terror Bears' way.
Oh yeah.
So some really good games last week. It is, of course, that time of year. A lot of very special awards are given now each week. It is a team game, of course. All these guys laying their lives on the line, trying to get those W's and chasing that dream of a championship. But despite it being a team game, every now and then some players rise to the top and they are deserving of some very special accolades. So I did want to give a shout out to those people who worked so hard for those awards this past week. Of course, starting with the Family Duo Award. That award goes out to all the players, or the best players rather, who are related. And last week it was none other than HDD and Goose taking home that award. I know it means a lot to them, so congrats on their hard work. And then, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention perhaps the most prestigious award in all of IGL. It's a very distinguished award. I know a lot of people really clamor for it and work hard to try and get it each and every week. But this week, there was a really awesome performance by Cobean. He took home the Purple Heart Award with a real solid 16 deaths per game. He also set a career high with 34 deaths in that second game of the match. So he worked really hard for that Purple Heart Award. And so a big shout out to him and thanks for his participation as well. Um, so we're going to get right to it. We're going to take a look at these current rosters here. Soak Squad, of course, very much a military-heavy team. Um, and they're going to be going up against GGG. They're going to have their hands full. These guys are also pretty strong on the military side of things as well.
Yeah, I think what's really cool about this team is it's a hybrid of just two best in class teams from the last year and current East Server League. We have Cereal Box and Brick Matt from Penguin Peeps, who just have had such a phenomenal um, East Coast run currently, and we see Cereal Box here on the West Coast League making his queening debut as part of Gang 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 alongside two members of the Triple G East Gang, which is another than one of the Mace legends himself, Kumzi, and the namesake Good Games James. So really, really, really spicy hybrid team. You know what you're going to get from these guys, and it's always going to be really smooth, really great warrior work. And each one of these players is an amazing warrior player and an amazing objective player in their own right, each and every one of them. But then you have, you know, Cereal Box coming out doing the wild card thing of being a queen. And so far, it's looked pretty clean, right? I've been
Absolutely.
really impressed week after week.
Yeah, so absolutely. So here in the background, we see Soak Squad just scrimming, warming up. Don't mind them. We do have the two teams, their overall stats showing right there along with their queens. And as you mentioned, Cereal Box has really come onto the scene. He's queening out here in the West. He's not playing, or I don't believe he's queening out in the East. But here in the West, you see the 35 to 6 KD ratio. Nothing to balk at. He has been doing some pretty good work over here. And then, of course, there's Lunchmeat, who's just been on an absolute tear. A 29 to 2 KDR. I mean, that's just pretty filthy stuff. You see their stats of the respective teams. Overall, Soak with a nice 2 to 1, over 2 to 1 KDR. And they like to push that snail pretty heavily. You see both teams evenly matched in the berry game, surprisingly.
Yeah. Would you see the objective game, with the snail a little bit more in Soak's favor here? Um, KD a little bit more in Soak's favor here, but the amount of kills that have gone into Gang's KD is it's quite impressive. They have had a couple more closer matchups. And I think that's just a testament to Cyril being a newer queen. The beauty of it is that they're coming out on top, right? Like they're coming out the winners in most of these games, and they have been super close sets. Those sets against B team were just some really fun KQB to watch.
Yeah,
So I'm sure we're gonna get a little bit more of that tonight
absolutely.
against the
And, and
one
here
number
are
one
some of
seed.
those workers that you mentioned on the Soak Squad, the blue side of things here. They are led by their captain, the H-Man, Goose himself, the all-around worker. They have the Mace God there. You see in the second slot, and the newcomer Nar. This is going to be a pretty awesome matchup here. Last season, some version of these two teams did meet in the playoffs, in the semifinals. It was very much built as a mace-off between HDD and Kumzi. Here, once again, we're going to see two of the best mace users in the business going up against each other, both doing what they do best and applying a really strong ledge on both sides of the defense.
Oh, for sure. And I think the other cool part of this too is that we have someone who's kind of slept on as a mace warrior that I think really has proved themselves in the last couple of weeks as also not being afraid of using my beloved mace, which is Brickmat.
Uh-huh.
I think his warrior play as a sword has pretty much always been pretty consistent, but the mace work that we've seen recently has also been really, really cool. So that all around the gang composition, though it is a new hybrid team, just has so much badassery behind them, the great history of playing. So I'm interested to see if that skill hybrid, what that looks like up against a seasoned, well, cohesive team like Soak. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, so this is, you mentioned that GGG, they have played together for a while. They do have their captain, as you said, their namesake, Good Games James. Kumzi teamed up with him, of course, in last year's version of GGG. The East Coast version of GGG is kind of the team that we're more accustomed to seeing from last season. They did go ahead and have a massive pickup in the offseason, snagging Dark Rain, one of the bigger free agent pickups, I think, of the year. Um, Dark Rain, of course, coming up from Tier 2, formerly a Melee player. So that was a really awesome snag on their part. Here, the West Coast version does feature good games, James and Coombsy. They've got the newcomer Brickmat, traditionally a Penguin Peeps player, and as we talked about, Cereal Box as well. So this is a really interesting team. They've got a lot of star power here, a lot of big names, guys who certainly know what they're doing. These guys, they're all not playing around. But as you mentioned, Soak does have that cohesion. They've been playing together for a long time. They know each other's play styles. And so it will be interesting for me to see how this iteration of GGG is able to play together, and if they're able to kind of get their comms down and really all get on the same page as to what their roles are.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the only thing that I've really seen that I would be I would be remiss to not mention the flexing on that team hasn't been everything that I think I would want out of players of their caliber. I think that they could do it a little bit more seamlessly. I think having a queen, Zero Box is a phenomenal queen, and coming out the gate and already being 2-1 against some of the teams, and having such close games against the teams that they have played, it's just like everything to be proud of. Like that's what you want, being a newer forming team for a season. But I think part of a little bit of that difficulty is having a queen that can help capitalize on those moments where you're down. So I want to see Serial Box doing a little bit more of that in order to really bring up the GGG West team or when they need it. Because especially against a team like Soak, who is going to wheedle your warriors down and then they're going to strike. You want to make sure that you're able to get yourself out of those situations. So I'm anxious to see how Serial Box, if he's met with that challenge, rises to it today.
Now, shout out to Jame and Penophobia of GGG, of course. They're here in the big chat showing support for their guys. Jame does bring up a good point. The West team also has not featured here Inside Out. That was also a very big pickup. And they do also have Sypha on the bench as well. So they do have those options. They can flex a Sypha in the queen spot. They can bring in Inside Out off the bench as well to replace one of their starting drones. So they're a pretty deep team. They've got a lot of options here. All their players, all their starting players, anyways, very, very strong warriors. Am curious to see how things pan out on the kind of more berry-heavy maps. Certainly, we know the Goose and Nara can really throw them in with the best of them. I'm real curious to see if that's something that GGG is going to be able to keep up with. I know the East Coast iteration of that team, they like to sometimes go 2 military on that map and 1 berry runner. So I'm curious to see how they'll handle those kinds of situations, or if they'll, say on split, maybe try something like push and snail. I don't know. Daddy, have we lost you?
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Daddy, you're back.
Okay, cool. Discord's not my friend
I
sometimes, but
thought the
I'm always
coronavirus may have claimed you.
Oh no! No fear, the COVID-19 Chungus Relief Fund is here for me. Make your donations now.
People, please donate. Daddy needs your help. She's dying on us. Glad you're here, Daddy.
Yeah, me too, me too. Yeah, berry pressure. I think that's what you were just last thing you were talking about. Yeah. Berry pressure. Okay, so I remember at the beginning. Excuse me. Oh my God, Corona. I don't have it. Okay.
All right.
Like at the very beginning, of me like first starting to play this game, I'm obviously a Switch player, and I didn't get to play with all the cool kids when I first started playing before that release, right? And I remember always watching Lobster and Kobe and Good Games James being masters from the very beginning. And Good Games James's beans have, I mean, they're a hallmark of what he can do, but his warrior has just come out and shined as well. It's like one of those really good all around players. I would love to see like Good Games go back to his roots of just like Barry Master all the time, because they have such strong warriors on this team. Like they can do that whenever they want. Even if like Inside Out was in this mix, it would be possible. But I remember back in the day, Good Games James would do these like wild berry throws. It'd be so dope to watch.
Yeah, we see he is averaging 8 berries a game, which is a very respectable number. So he certainly can toss them in. I'm curious to see. Certainly in berry-heavy maps, I think we'll expect Coombsy to get up and ledge. You can see Good Games James throw him in. Interested to see what Brick Matt's role is going to be. Traditionally with Penguin Peeps, that team likes to go real heavy on the military, and they like to push that snail. Shea Butter, of course, will ride that snail, and that's kind of been Penguin Peeps' bread and butter, no pun intended. Yeah, again, I'm curious to see how they adjust and what Brick Matt's role is going to be in this team's offense.
Yeah,
Um,
it's kind of cool too. You can see they all have like everyone on Gang 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 has like respectable number like amount of snail going for them. Coombsy with even two berries. What is this? I don't even know where that came from. I didn't even know Coombsy knew what a berry hole was. So that's really cool to see. But I mean, talk about snail miles. Look at Nar with 586 right there. Even our good friend HDD, like another person, like if Coombsy doesn't know what a berry is, Hot Dick doesn't know what a snail is. But here we are with 182 snail miles. So let's go.
Everyone's branching out, rotating around. It's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, and I think when you get to tier 1, that's really the differentiator. That's like that's where teams start to shine. It's where they can get that flex on. They can do it positively. They have the cohesion and the positive comms to be able to make that happen. It's not as easy as you might think it is. It's a lot of coordination. It's a lot of proper game state awareness. And these are two teams that definitely have it.
Yeah, absolutely. These are very well balanced teams, pretty evenly matched. They're two of the very top teams in the West. Soak Squad, of course, they're sitting undefeated. They're at 3-0. GGG, they very well could be. They took B Team to 5 games last week. That was a real close one. Unfortunately for them, they came out on the losing end of things, so they're 2-1. But they're starting to be right there at the very end. I think they're well positioned to make a pretty deep playoff run. So I'm anticipating this is going to be a real close match here. I think Soak Squad, they may be the slight favorites here. What do you think GGG is going to have to do to be able to pull off an upset here?
Um, I think it's the fundamental, like, keep your lives first, right? Because Soka's gonna, like I said, they're gonna wheedle your warriors down. They're gonna come at your queen like a spider monkey, right? So like we
Hmm.
gotta play the smart card. Know when to be a ground queen, know when to be a ceiling queen, and keep the positive comms up. I know Kumzi, you're listening. If you just want to like run a couple beans, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that could be really good for you guys too. Like if a positive rotation all the time. But no, I think just keeping those comms up, keeping it steady, keeping your lives. Because if you get wiped as a warrior, lunch meets gate control is just beautiful. It's one of my favorite parts of playing with him.
And we see in the big chat, James saying he's got $1 for every berry Coombsy puts in. I absolutely love it. Coombsy, as we see, averaging 2 berries per game. So here we go. I am pulling for Coombsy. Hope he's able to get in a few berries there. James calling out for somebody to pick up
Yeah,
some action
Retro's
on HDD. That
Retro's
would
gonna
be awesome.
sponsor HDB's berries. I love it. I love it.
Yep. So for those, I see people talking about the donation. Yes, the fund is still going on. It's going real strong. I know some people have talked about trying to donate directly with your credit card. Unfortunately, this time that's not working. That's not functional. So to donate, you do have to set up a PayPal account first. So there is one extra step there. I'm sorry for the hassle, but you do have to set up a PayPal account, and you can link a credit card
It's
to
safer.
that,
It's safer for
and then go
you.
ahead.
It's
Yes, it
safer
is.
for you
That's
guys.
that's
Come
what
on.
they say. That's why they don't allow direct credit card donations. There is that filtered step first. So please go ahead, create that PayPal account, link your credit card, and then go ahead and donate away. And here we go. It looks like these guys are just about getting ready to set up. I'm excited. I think we got a really good match about ready to happen here. Two very good teams, pretty evenly well matched. I do want to give a quick shout out here to all those who helped with the ticker down below. Of course, you probably first saw this on Fonzie's cast. Fonzie was the first to kind of figure out how to get the ticker going. And then big shout out to AG, who was very generous in donating some of his time with me to help me set this up as well. Um, so here we go. We got a new look going
Community,
here on the
baby,
big show.
community.
Everyone has pitched in to help make this happen. Everyone's been helping out, pitching in with the donations as well. So let's keep those going, guys.
I'm excited. I'm ready for this.
Yeah, me too. I hope we see some really good sets. Yeah, I was gonna say some good games. No pun intended. But yeah, I really do hope that these are close. Um,
I want to like cheer on my teammates, but there's nothing funnier than yelling out "gang, gang, gang" like when they do something, you know. So
that is true.
excuse me.
And here we go. They are ready for action. Gotta get a little volume going here.
All
And
right, we're chopping
ready
into
we go.
split map, split juniper. Let's go. Wasn't Akumzi just saying something about not too much split? Will we see some Kumzi Bear? Get your wallet ready, James. Get your wallet ready.
And here we go. And they're off. Alright. Pretty standard starts. We see Nar working berries up top. Ooh, he's missed a couple there. Goose doing his thing down low.
Yeah, stealing those berries that Kumzi thought he was going to get it himself. Nice work there. And
Gold
early
looking
berry
pretty
leads
strong
for
up
blue.
top.
Yeah.
They're looking good. Goose was doing work down below, but Nar missed a couple key throws up top that gave Gold a chance to get in this. We're going to see Nar grab a warrior, Goose's warrior as well. They're going pretty military heavy strat right now.
Yeah, nice clears there from Lakshmi to give Goose a little bit, or Nar a little bit more room. Goose a little bit more room to get those top berries in. Really easy to catch up on the top berries if you can have that opening. Down goes Lakshmi. Bottoms are done for blue, which is a nice place you want to be with one berry left for full team.
And big shout out to Turbo Jats and Peanophobia for hosting this channel. And wow, here we go. GGG drawing first blood. Getting that econ victory. Very strong.
Beautiful stuff there. Really nice defensive play from Serial Box. They took Lunchmeat down to last life, which is just, I mean, that's what you want. And there's nothing worse than a split map with a queen on last life, because if your warriors go down, you're screwed. You're not getting them back up.
Team Us, big
Anybody
strong
paying
elbow bump to you
attention?
as well. Thank you for the host.
Anybody paying attention to these Kumzi berries? I'm not kidding.
Here we
I
go.
want eyes on the
We're gonna
berries.
see it. James has got $1 on each berry. Let's see if he can make it happen.
Early berry lead for blue once again. Just Goose flexing his berry muscle. I love to see it. As I curse him with a couple of missed throws, but they're already half high for gold or blue without a single gold berry in. This is some beautiful play there by Lunch.
Gold's really struggling. Yeah, absolutely. Lunch Meat is just absolutely feasting on these gold drones right now. A big part of the reason why his team is up big. Oh, he does go down there. Nice skill by the gold team. Let's see if I
a couple missed shots from blue. This is pivotal for them to stay alive here.
Now check this out. This is interesting. We see Goose Legend with the mace, and HDD's been throwing berries. I think maybe he's hoping that someone's going to pick up the action on him and he can earn a couple bucks for the COVID relief fund. This is really interesting. I don't think I've seen this before.
Yeah, thank you. We're looking for a queen, a queen for Cereal Box. Where are they? No more eggs for them, and Goose is taking it down. Goose is doing some phenomenal ledging.
Oh, both queens down to last life, though.
Yeah, I want to see Blue get some warriors up and kind of take it to... I mean, they could literally come out full mill right now and take it to the queen and still come back from this because they don't even need to ledge. Missed pick from Hot Dick, but he does take one warrior down, clearing out the hive for the blue team. I love it. I love it so much. Great stuff there. Just like that one to go for blue team.
One left up, but Lunch is on his last life, and as we know, he likes to play things pretty aggressively here. So Gold still very much has a chance to get the kill on him. HDD, oh, Goose flies in with the dunk. Very nice play. In a rare turn of events, we also see a shout out to Lakes asking for your volume to be turned up. I don't know if anybody's ever asked me that before in the history of the Big Show.
Oh no, he's saying that my mic is too loud. You should turn yourself up. We've gone over this. I'm kind of just really loud.
Okay, that's pretty crazy. Nobody's ever asked
something me. I loved on that map right there. We just saw Lunch Meat keeping himself out of the queen lanes and making sure that he was always not under the other queen, which is really important when you're on last life. So good stuff from him there. Early snail progress and berry progress for blue team. I love when they do these sexy ass plus flexes.
Yeah, we've been seeing that a lot from Soak lately. They've been running a lot of split objectives on this map. Goose to start with berries. They'll often have Nar pushing that snail. You'll see HDD, of course, grabbing his standard mace, and then they'll seem to kind of flex around from there. Gold not really pushing berries that much. They're seeming to go with the military heavy strat force, making good use of their superb warriors in Kumzi and in Brickmat. Of course, good games, James, grabbing that gun. We know he likes that a lot as well.
Yeah, and it looks like Soak's making easy work of all of these objectives right now. Really patient play from Hotdick, and now he's taken out the queen to pinch the warrior with the queen. But oh my god, Cereal Box ain't having it. Down to 2 and taking out 2.
Yeah, as you said, and here we go. Lunch going down to last life. That does seem to be Gold's objective here, is just taking out Lunch Meat. They've got 3 maces all flying
That
around.
is so scary. Lunch has no fear right now.
No,
he went
really
for
doesn't.
it. That was beautiful.
Man, if I were playing right now, I'd be telling Lunch to just get the hell out of there. You got snail pressure going. You've got only 3 berries away, but Lunch is relentless. Big shout out to Kingdom for the big follow. Very much appreciated, my friend. We see this is a really close match. Both teams down to their
Snail
last
is closing in. The 3 berries left. Nar is doing amazing column work, though he does go down right there. I want to see some more blue warriors. They definitely need a couple more. Nar with the Chungus, but it's fine because Lunch Meat takes down Cereal Box to bring Soak up 2-1.
That was a very nerve-inducing map right there. That was really critical, a pivotal round 3 right there. Gives Soak the slight advantage here, but that was so close. That could have gone either way. Really.
Yeah, something I brought up before was having to be able to challenge Lunch Meat's gate control, because it can be very tough, and I think Cereal Box did a wonderful job of making sure that they had gates every time they need them, and Gold has some serious warrior presence on that map. Great stuff from them.
That was good. Here we go. Back to
Dirty J, but it want it. I love it. I love it.
This is another fun map, all strats are in play. Lunch Meat goes down. We haven't seen either team here trying to get any berry pressure at all. And a quick counter, Goose getting the kill on Cereal Box. Cereal to his last life as Nar marches that snail forward as he loves to do. Goose just Mario balancing on Cereal Box. Yeah, Goose loving that sword and board. And doing some work there, getting the queen kill, and giving Soak the first win of the night. With a very, very quick stat screen there. We weren't able to check that out. I don't know who's setting this up.
Yeah, how many berries did Hotdick have? Anybody catch that?
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to go back and check out that replay.
I'm holding everyone accountable to your donations.
Yeah, I know, right? We're going to have to, somebody get on Good Games James, tell him to not blast through that stat screen.
I was running it.
Yeah, it's super duper important that they keep that up for a sec, even just for IGL's purposes.
Yeah, if somebody's out there, please go ahead and shoot him a Discord message. Let him know. The fans all want to see the stats. But yeah, that was really interesting. I don't know what the stats were there, but it seemed to me like Blue was pushing. They maintained objective control. For much of that, and that ended up being the big difference there. It was just too much pressure. Cereal Box had to get himself in some tight spots there.
Yeah, I think the Gold team had a hefty warrior presence on most maps, I would say. I don't think there was very many times where they were fully wiped. So, and that's what you're going to expect from these types of players. But the cohesion necessary to make something happen, I don't think it was there that time. So I'm hoping that they can pick something up there. To match the amazing split strats that were happening on Blue side. That one tally was just insane.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Gold, to their credit, I mean, their warrior play was very strong. They did get Lunch Meat down to his last life, a couple times there at least. They were in it the whole way. Blue did take it 3-1, but those were some very, very close rounds. Really
aggressive Cereal Box in this set as well, which is, I love to see it. Especially against another aggressive queen like Lunch Meat. I think one of the most annoying things is that sometimes you have to remind Lunch, hey, you're on last life, because the man's gonna go for it. So to see Cereal put him on last life and to be able to get to that point is so much fun. Crossover from Cereal Box, but he's not getting anything for it. They did get a good games out, but Blue is taking the warrior lead here.
shout out to everyone getting involved right now. KC with $5 donation. Thanks so much, very much appreciated. We got a big follow from Inside Out. You get a big strong elbow as well. And I think there was another donation there I missed as well. If somebody donated and I didn't see that, my apologies. That's awesome. Thanks all you guys for getting involved. We see Goose with a
Big
rare
snail.
snail
I mean,
appearance
this
as
is
well.
like
Here we go.
almost like this is like that was approaching like nonstop snail territory. Cereal Box had a hard opening and they weren't able to come back from that. Gold maintaining a few warriors and Blue absolutely demolishing on that one. Beautiful stuff there on that Spire.
Yeah, that was some really good play there. That's rare that you see Goose initially riding that snail. Normally that's Nar's job. They mixed it up and it paid off. Let's see. Back to
Ooh,
Black Queen.
beautiful punish from Cereal. And this was a gold open. They definitely took this open to another level. Down goes good games. I love that he went for that beautiful gun though. That was you love it. Ooh,
Here we go.
beautiful
Now we're
takedown
seeing
by
him
Brick.
riding the snail. And I think that's exactly what Gold needs. They've been sitting back. They've been trying to go real military heavy without putting any objective pressure though on Soak. I think what they need to get back in this is to ride that snail and get some objective pressure going. And down goes Lunchmeat, down to his last life while Cereal
Yeah, they got everything.
still looking very healthy.
This map has everything right now. It has a Brick doing work. It has Coombsy in the wrap as a sword. What is this? This is like maybe the third time I've seen a Coombsy sword. I don't know. That's wild. Almost the pinch there on Lunchmeat. Beautiful stuff here right now from Gold Team as they go down. My bad. Commentators first.
Blue battling back though. Nar getting a big kill as Goose again riding that snail, pulling back more into neutral territory. Cereal Box still has a life up on Lunchmeat. Oh, and there he goes. Down goes Lunch.
Neutral wipe. Lunch did not need to go into that gate. They had every single gate. He just needed to put some pressure, but like we mentioned, sometimes he just gets a little hungry, and you have to remind him that he's on last life.
Shout out to
Beautiful
Bug Wizard.
capitalization.
I missed you, Tree Bones. Thanks for that $50 donation. Very much appreciated. And here we go. That's 20. Donated another 50. So the donations keep on rolling in, guys. Thanks so much. Let's keep it going as we move on to Helix here. Oh, and another quick kill. Down goes Cereal Box. As Blue continues their very onslaught.
Oh yeah, beautiful clear there from Lunchmeat as well, and down to last they go. While Gold only has one berry, this is not the spot you want to be in.
No.
But oh my God, Soak, let's fucking
Blue
go!
just absolutely demolishing this berry game. Nar had an easy berry, but he decided to opt out and go sword. James donating 7 for the 7 berries of Coombsy, and Nar finishes things off with a nice Cereal Box kill. You know, before the start of the match, this is exactly what I was talking about. You know, I said I thought one area where Soak was going to have a big advantage was on Helix for sure, and so far it's paid off. They have taken both berries maps so far tonight.
Yeah, berries are the name of the game for Soak on a lot of maps. Like, I think they have a strong enough warrior team to definitely run more snail, even on things like this split. But Goose is just so damn good at throwing those berries in.
Yeah, Goose providing some long range support. He got 2 berries up top. Nar got 2 berries up top. We're going to see them clean up the bottom ones as well. Blue's looking real sturdy right now. Gold can't seem to get anything going right now. We did see them take this map last time. Yeah, last time they were here was the first map of the night, and we saw Gold take a pretty commanding victory there. But right now they're struggling. HDD, he's got his sword and board up as he loves to do so much on this map. He's going to be really hard to get through. Once he gets that ledge going with his sword and board, he's
and then it goes.
And there we go.
There's a quick second set there. Soak takes it 3-1.
Yeah, Soak really just seemed to have all the momentum going this set. That berry work by them was just too strong. You see Goose doing all kinds of objective work. 13 berries, over 1,000 on the snail. HDD with a 14-2, just silly KDR. We've been seeing him post some pretty crazy stats these past few weeks.
I just want to shout out, thank you, Coombsy, for your 3-berry contribution to COVID-19 relief.
There we go. Another 3. Coombsy finding himself sitting at 10 berries on the night. pretty strong and pretty surprising. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, thank you, Safa. That was a pretty scary soak demonstration there. I think one way to that Lunch really gets fired up is when he's put on last that many times. I think Gold Team did a wonderful job of putting that pressure on him and keeping him vulnerable. But the final capitalization wasn't there. Soak with just such strong objective pressure. You really gotta be able to manage both of those.
HDD doing double duty here. Not only is he posting crazy KDRs, he's also coming through strong with a big $5 donation. Thanks so much, man. Keep up the good work in there.
Yep.
And here we go to a decisive game right now. Um, Gold's got their backs to the wall. They're down 2-0. They're gonna have to find a way to squeeze out a victory here, or it's gonna be over really before long.
Yeah, I mean, they put up such a damn battle against B Team. And B Team, another just amazingly seasoned tier one crew. I have no doubt that they could definitely pull it back. I would like to see it in this next one.
Thanks so much for the follow, guys. We also have James coming in with another $3 donation for Coombsy's 3 berries. I appreciate it, man, and all your hard work. Hang in there. And here we go, back to Helix once again, and this is where we've seen Silk has just been absolutely dominant so far. Gold's gonna have to come up with an answer here.
Yeah, we see Nar coming out on ledge. Early berries for Gold though, and we have a slight advantage there and now tied up. And Gold is opting to get 2 ledges out early, which is that's definitely the play when you have people who can run objective as well as Goose and Nar. But it gets a little worrisome because then you only have 1 objective runner, and they're opting to go full mill here,
Full
which is
mill.
like
They do have.
I'm fucking here for it. Let's go.
I mean, it's worked. They've got 1 kill on Lunch, and we know he is aggressive. I mean, they've got a chance. I think they've kind of accepted that maybe berries are just not going to happen on this match. So figured what they got to lose. Let's go full mill.
Yeah, but Lunchmeat, look at this. Lunchmeat is just fearless. He's completely ignoring Brickmat and took Cereal to last life at this point, while Soak has 3 berries left. Like, this is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, here we go, though.
Great gate view.
As we say that, Lunch loses your life. He's down to last. Blue only needing one. Oh, nice bank shot by Goose. Blue needs 1 more. Who's gonna blink first?
Ooh.
Oh, wow! I didn't even see where that berry come from. I'm gonna guess.
It was Nar. It was Nar.
Wow.
Nar threading some needles to go for it. Very close though, because Cereal Box had the column on Lunchmeat.
Oh, there
for
it is.
sure.
Okay, I'm seeing a delay on my stream. I've got a second monitor going. Absolutely beautiful toss. Well done, Nar. Gold had a chance. Again, there have been a lot of maps here where they've gotten Lunchmeat down to his last life. They're just struggling to really finish the job off, though.
Yeah, and it's Coombsy. Coombsy's running a berry for charity. Yeah, Coombsy! I love it! I fucking love it!
Good man, Coombsy.
Good man. So good. That might have put his team in a little bit of a pickle, though, because now they're only down to 1 warrior. But I applaud the idea, right? Like, he might have just thrown a game for COVID relief.
Well played, my man.
And then he comes out to knife people, but it's too little too late. 1 more berry, Coombsy, 1 more berry.
There we go. We see, Goose, so dangerous with that speed warrior going. He loves to get the speed warrior on this map and on Spire. He gets it, and he gets the kill on Cereal Box.
Oh, beautiful Cereal Box. That was so hype. That was so hype. I love it. I absolutely love
Cereal
it.
Box getting some sweet revenge. He's got another speed warrior to contend with, though, in Nar. Oh, Chuck Berry. Big strong elbow to you, my friend. Thank you so much for that big $50 donation. Good to see you here on the stream tonight. And here we go.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm absolutely loving all of this. Coombsy. I think Coombsy deserves a donation for that kill, too, because that was so hot. Swipe up to the right for Lunchmeat's life. Great stuff there.
Coombsy, of course, one of the
And tables have
maces in the
turned.
business.
This is definitely a tables moment where Cereal Box and Co. have just absolutely taken the south side of the map
Oh, I like the
for so
spacing by
well.
Gold. They've gone full military. They're all protecting their columns here. Oh, and it pays off. Getting a kill on Lunchmeat's Queen down to the last life again. We've seen Gold in this spot so many times. They get Lunchmeat down. Is this going to be the map where they're able to pull it off and finally get a military victory here?
Yeah, and they're looking at a speed brick on the snail. He's made chicky nuggies of Gnar, and they're riding. They're zooming, dude.
Yep,
Uh,
Gold looking pretty healthy right now. They've got, okay, I was just about to say they had 2 warriors up. Good Games James does go down. Brick Matt with smart flex. He's going to grab warrior. Good Games James also gets a warrior. They're going full mill. I thought you might try and grab some speed snail there to put some more projective pressure. Force Lunchmeat's hand. We're seeing Lunchmeat with a rare ceiling queen move there. Oh, here we go. Goose.
oh, and the fake out from Goose. I love these shuffles that he's been doing lately. That was beautiful. I'm just saying, right above this was a Tokyo brick mat that I felt like was about to come achieve things. But, good stuff there from Goose to stop him in his tracks. Let's go.
Here we go, and we go to Spire. I don't know, have we seen much Spire yet here tonight? I'm not sure if we have.
We saw a little bit of Spire where Goose almost had a non-stop snail
that's
the
right.
Madman.
Yes, we did. Here we go. Lunch meat comes
Wow,
out.
relentless lunch meat. That was
Kill.
beautiful.
This is match point here. Soak's up 2 games to nothing. They're also up 2 maps to nothing. So Gold's gonna have to get something going here. If Cereal Box goes down 2 more times, that will be the match.
Yeah, but they have a Kumsi mace. They have a Kumsi mace, which means very much in Killer Queen Black. Until it's not there anymore. And farewell to Kumsi. It might be time to run more berries, my friend.
Here we go.
Cereal Box returning the favor here, avenging Kumsi's life. And we're gonna get good games out of right. Oh, lunch meat, just fearless clearing there.
Cereal
Straight
Box
stairs down south.
match life, and he's in a tough spot right now. Ooh, nice clear, getting Goose's mace out of the way. If Cereal Box goes down, that will be it for the night. He's got to do everything he can to stay alive here. Good gate control, tagging those gates, helping his warriors get up. They've got good games, James up, Brick Map, really nowhere to go. Oh, Cereal Box risked it. Big risk trying to get his man up, and it cost him his life, and that is the match. Soak will take this game 3 rounds to none, and they will take the match 3 games to none.
Good games, guys.
Yeah, and that takes Soak to a 4-0, coming in
GGs,
here
guys.
at the top seed on the West Coast, showing it week after week with such a beautiful display of team artwork, freaking poetry, baby. And that takes Gang to 2-2 on their season. Everything in the world to be proud of, especially that $4 that Kumsi brought to the table for COVID relief. Can I get a hoo-ha? Yes. And Hatik finally found the berry holes with 3 strong berries. I love it.
Berry hole. He made up for last game's 0 berry effort by donating $5 himself, so that's much appreciated. Kumsi, as you said, coming through with another strong effort. Thanks so much to all the competitors tonight. You guys put on a heck of a match. That was a lot of fun. Very good match there. Looking ahead to next week, as you mentioned, GGG, they will now drop to 2-2. They're going to be playing Terror Bears next week, so that'll be a fun one. Based on what you've seen tonight, what can we hope and expect from GGG going forward, and how can they adapt their style of play here?
Yeah, we've seen a roller coaster ride from Terror Bears. I called out that team as a team to watch in West, and so I'm gonna stick to my guns there and say that there's still a lot for GGG to have to come to the table with. They're coming in at 2-2 now after this Stoke game. I think another amazing monster queen from Obo who just will cut through and really thread some sick needles to keep his eyes on the queen. So I think Cereal Box shows that he has the patience. He knows what it takes to get his warriors back out when he needs to. So I think they're in a really good shape to have a really solid game against Terror Bears next week. I'm excited.
Yeah, certainly Cereal Box has hands full tonight. With Lunch Meat, he's going to have another really strong queen matchup there against Obo next week. That should be a really good game. I think those teams are also 2 very
and we're gonna see some Kumsi v Eggy Mace offs. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go.
Another big mace battle. Mace off once again. Several Mace University attendees here. Oboe coming through. Appreciate it, man. Big strong elbow bump to you as well for the $5. Love to see that. Soak now moves on. They're undefeated. They're sitting pretty at 4-0. B team, they've got a match coming up later this week. They're currently at 3-0. If they can move to 4-0, both teams will be undefeated, the only two undefeated teams in the division, and coincidentally, they will play each other next week in a potential battle of the undefeateds. That's going to be a real hype matchup, maybe the biggest one so far of the season. I'm hoping that you and I are going to be available to cast that one because that should just be an absolutely awesome, awesome match.
It would be an honor and a pleasure, kind sir. Honor and a fucking pleasure.
Absolutely. Those two teams, we saw a real great match with B Team when they played GGG here last week. Those guys have weapons all across the board. I think they would stack up really well here against Soak. So that would, again, that'd be a really interesting matchup. We saw Soak, they did a lot of things really well tonight. What do you think they can take away from this match?
I think they had just like outstanding objective pressure on most maps, and I think something that we're seeing week after week is we're seeing this snail from Soak ride longer, and by that I mean that they're doing a much better job of like snail guarding, so to speak. My KQA lingo carrying
Snail
over.
ledging?
Yeah, it's, no, it's the snail guarding. They're watching their snail, they're keeping an eye on it, and they're making the queen come to the snail.
Uh-huh.
We saw a couple of times where like Hotik or Nar would come out with that speedy boy hot fire sword, and he'd take the knife to pressure the queen into those weird situations near the snail. And Lunchmeat could go ahead and capitalize, or Goose would do a cool shuffle on a queen, right? So like that kind of concerted effort around the snail, I think, is like further development of the meta. I think we're going to see a lot more of that to come. I think that they're doing a really great job of making that happen. I've heard them use the word columns, so I feel like my work here is done. I don't know.
They
I'm really
can be
excited.
taught.
I think if they keep doing these things and they keep the communication high, I think something that Nar really brings super positively this or this West Coast soak is his communication is just so beautiful. Like I've watched as his comms and his game state awareness has developed, and I love Goose and Danny, but when Nar says something, I truly believe it, and it's usually a really positive call out, and he's making like really strong executive decisions. So I'm really excited to see that progress as well.
So while tonight was a great match, there's a lot of other big matchups here. The week is just getting started. I do want to thank everyone in advance for really utilizing the TV guide that Daddy has worked so hard to put together. I'm checking that out, and it's looking pretty full, pretty healthy here. We've got all kinds of good matchups coming this week. Just to run through the TV guide real quick. Tomorrow, Thursday, 9 o'clock, we've got 2MA going up against My Whole Stack. We've got a slate of 3 games tomorrow. Also, we've got 9 p.m. NIS, 9 Inch Snails going up against Dream Team. And then at 10, Soak Squad East Coast version going up against Dark. Friday, we've got 2 other great matches as well. On the East Coast, we have the East iteration of GGG. They're at 3-0 going up against the 2-0 Penguin Peeps. That's going to be an absolutely awesome game cast by KG. We've also got Terror Bears versus Snailer Moon, cast by AG. He's pulling double duty because then Saturday he comes back and does the aforementioned B team against Silver Smurfers. So everyone's been doing an awesome job. Thanks
Oh,
for
wait, hold on.
utilizing
I
the
just want
TV
to
guide.
I want to take a well. I linked the TV guide in the chat if you want to know. I just want to take a moment to highlight a match that happened this evening. Little
Uh-huh.
precarious, little beautiful. I watched my homie Rob, the bowling night, destroy Dream Team. Okay, but what was really cool, I saw amazing work from all the Warriors. H came out and did some insane kills. Nubs was running those berries. You could see that the throws are working, and then he was flexing out, making stuff happen. We saw Eklo on that snail riding the pony all the way home. Beautiful stuff from Bowling Team. It was Tier 1 East match. I hope you guys got to catch it, and if you didn't, you should go back and rewatch that because it was awesome. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so we've got almost every match is up on the TV guide. I believe Hive in Place and Lit have not yet posted. So if anybody has any insider information about that, please go ahead, let us know, and feel free to throw it up on the schedule. But otherwise, every other Tier 1 team did get their matches up there. That's awesome. As we can see, all the casters hard at work. All the matches have been claimed, except for tomorrow night's match of Silk versus Dark. So if you're a caster, you're listening here tonight, I won't be able to cover that one, so feel free to go ahead and scoop up that match, because that should be a good one as well. And that's going to about do it. Daddy, any last words before we sign off here tonight?
Want to give my obligatory shout out to the community and how amazing you guys have been. Peanut said he's going to stream tomorrow now, so that's dope. Thank you guys for all the donations tonight. You know, we came in here and I guess we've raised what, like another $179 tonight, if
Yep,
I'm not
that's
crazy,
right.
which is just
Damn straight.
thank you guys so much for like caring about this shit with us, right? Like we can all like tune in and watch Killer Queen and play and stuff. It's another thing to show out and like put your wallet there too. So like thank you guys so much for helping this cause, and of course once again thank you Chungus for putting it together, because it's amazing. Love it.
Yeah, and thank you, Daddy. It's always a pleasure having you stop by on the show and offer your insights to the program. I want to thank both teams for coming out and putting on a heck of a performance here tonight. It was a lot of fun watching you guys. Big shout out especially to the captains, Goose and Good Games James, for all their help behind the scenes and getting this all set up. Thank you to my producer, of course, Mr. Meeseeks, working real hard behind the scenes. And a big shout out to all of you, the audience, the listener, including everyone who was able to follow and donate along tonight, keeping the COVID-19 relief fund going strong. So a big thank you to all of you, each and every one. This has been The Big Show, and I'm Big Chungus, reminding you to get involved, win your clashes, and as always, have fun. Be sure to tune in next time for continued coverage of the 2020 IGL Spring Circuits. Until then, happy gaming everyone, and good night.
What's up?
Stream, man.
What's up, Chungo?
Did you mention the chamber at all?
Wait, hold on. The stream isn't off. The stream isn't off. The stream isn't off. Abort. Abort.
Oh, it's totally not.
Why do you just leave it up?
Eye strain.
It's so on. It's so fucking on.